in town for a few days taking meetings. Do you want to tell us who you've talked to and what you've heard?
Yeah, a lot of the meetings that we've had this week have been really building on the meetings we had a couple of weeks ago, meeting with a number of different congressional representatives, a number of senators, and we just have a meeting with some officials in the White House here now too.
On the inside of this, is it as frustrating as it appears on the outside? It seems the goal lines keep shifting and that the public, at least stance of the White House, keeps shifting. Is that how it feels on the inside too?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I don't think this is any different than it was 5 years ago when, there's a lot of pieces in play. At the end of the day, and I've said this many times, despite the noise and the rhetoric that we hear from various sources, we have a great thing in North America where we provide, each of us provide, North American energy and food security, and that's what Saskatchewan's interest is getting back to, that environment where we can just continue doing that, creating wealth on both sides of the borders by, in our case, developing our natural resources and providing them to not only other North Americans, but together providing them to the world. So, a lot going on right now. I don't always get along with my family. I don't always get along within our political party or even within our nation. And so, there is times when you're going to have discussions like this. It's important for all of us as North Americans to keep our eye on the long game and ensuring we're getting back to that North American secure economy that we have had for so very long.
Well, on the long game then, how confident are you that you're not just going to be bouncing down here every 3 weeks, having the same conversations, trying to push back the same deadline month after month?
Well, this is an area where we come down 2 to 3 times a year as just a norm, and have for the last 15 years or so. We export in Saskatchewan to over 160 countries, but of all of those countries, the United States of America is the most important and largest exporting and trading nation for Saskatchewan and for Canada. And so we've been in this market for multiple times each and every year, telling the Saskatchewan story, making those relationships closer. And thankfully, we've been able to do that over the last number of years. It's a little more intense now, admittedly, and that may remain a little more intense for a period into the future. But we're committed to making the relationship work, despite the current rhetoric.
When you look at everything going on right now, how do you know what the line is between what's a real demand and what's something outlandish, a piece of leverage?
Well, there's multiple lines, and I think there's a lot of leverage that is being put out on, and not just from the president, but there's a lot of talk about leverage this way, that way, as there is in any negotiation, and that's what this is eventually is going to turn into a negotiation. I know Jameson Greer was just confirmed the other day that will, between him or Mr. Lutnick are likely the American negotiators in the review of the USMCA, which has always been planned. I'd say the sooner we get to that table, the better.
So President Trump this morning posted that next week's tariffs are going ahead. You have potash, you have uranium, you have things that the United States imports, oil. What are you hearing from lawmakers here who are expressing concern specifically about potash, I think of like Grassley, and are they starting to speak out more on Canada and Saskatchewan's behalf?
Yeah, we've met with Senator Grassley as well as many other senators and congressmen from throughout the Midwest, and the impacts of tariffs on something like potash or oil are going to be pretty immediate. As a Midwestern farmer finds their way to the field to seed, 90% of their potash comes from Saskatchewan. Much of their oil, we export about $15 billion of oil into places like Ohio, Illinois, Louisiana, and Texas, into the refineries there. Gas will go up at the pumps almost immediately, and so American families will pay more with these tariffs, and eventually, I think if they're on for any sustained period of time, all North Americans are going to pay more, and it's going to make for a less competitive North American market, which doesn't benefit us that live here. It benefits other countries in other areas of the world. And so the sooner we can get back to the stable trading environment that we have, I think the better off it is for each of us that live on this continent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Stay dry.